Kitchen witches, kitchen witches, kitchen witches. We have a kitchen candle.
A kitchen candle. Let there be light. Let there be flame. Let you make us a tasty delight.
Hope so. So today I'm going to make us a lobster bacon sandwich. It's amazing. It's my faves, and I hope you guys enjoy it as well.
Babe, say chaffle. It is what it is.
It is what it is. It's a chaffle. Those who don't know what a chaffle is a cheese egg piece of food that you put inside of a waffle maker, and it becomes bread for those who can't have bread. And so to have my favorite sandwiches, this is how I make my chaffle.
Remember when you first discovered the chaffle?
I had a literal orgasm.
Yeah. It changed her life. She was like, I can be keto forever now because this is delicious.
This is delicious. I don't know about you guys, but I love a BLT. I love a burger. I love a Reuben. I love a Cuban sandwich. I love all of those, and I can have that with this. So inside of a chaffle, which we're gonna make first, there are so many amazing recipes on YouTube dealing with the chaffle, but this is mine. We take 1 egg.
Right here, babes, right here. Come on, come on, come on.
Oh, yeah!
If all else fails, you definitely have a career in basketball.
No, I don't.
You do. Women's basketball, check her out.
Not good at it.
Hey, LA, what are they, the Clippers?
No, the Sparks.
Sparks, give her a call.
Then we're gonna take some apple cider vinegar. As you guys know, my version of Kitchen Witches, not really good with measurements, so I just take the top and I put a cap full of apple cider vinegar. It helps make it taste bready. I'm also gonna add some nutritional yeast. I love nutritional yeast because it adds some wonderful B vitamins to the mix, and it also gives it an extra cheesy flavor. And with that, I normally just take a tablespoon and don't fill up the whole tablespoon.
Oh, okay. Less than half of a tablespoon.
It's less than half of a tablespoon. Yeah, it's just a little bit. Just less than half of a tablespoon of that. Okay, so right now we have egg, nutritional yeast, and some apple cider vinegar. I'm also gonna be putting in xanthan gum, but I'm gonna put that in last because it tends to clump if it's with wet things. I'm supposed to measure the cheese. So I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3.
People tablespoon.
People tablespoons. That's the cheddar.
Then I can reach across you and take it. See, we're such a good team. This is why you always need a sous chef.
Always. And I'm gonna do the same to shredded mozzarella cheese. I really try to find the whole fat mozzarella cheese, and that's good when it's in a square. But today I'm not shredding anything, so here we go. 1.
Whoa.
I don't feel like dealing with that. Put that back in there, I guess. The 2, 3. We're gonna keep this out because I might need a little bit more. I like my mixture to be a little dry. We're gonna take the xanthan gum.
You like it to be what?
Mixture to be a little dry.
What?
Because I normally like moist things.
Raven hates anything that's dry, but not her chaffle apparently.
Xanthan gum is so small. This is like 1/4 of a teaspoon, right? It's like 1/4. It needs to be even less than that. It's just like a light sprinkle just to add a little bit of gluten, our version of gluten. Now, we're going to mix it on up.
Hey, mix it on up
To the east side. Okay, so as you can see, this mixture is very, very moist. I want it a little less moist. And the way I'm gonna...
I hate that word. Can you just say wet?
It's not wet though. It is wet, actually. Yeah, I'll say wet.
Very wet.
I'll say wet.
It is not moist.
So to soak up some of that wetness, I'm gonna take some coconut flour. Coconut flour, if you've seen any of our Kitchen Witches, you'll know we did not understand coconut flour when we were on our Arizona trip, but we've learned about it.
It doesn't have a 1-to-1 ratio. You know what I don't love? This is my like kitchen OCD about this 1 tablespoon thing is now this has been in cheese, it's been in xanthan gum, and you're just dropping little particles of it everywhere you go. Just like these little particles of cheese on her face, you know, you see those and you know that those are in the bag.
It would be different if we shared food, but we don't share food. So if we shared food, I would use different things, but this is all my food, so I don't really care.
True story, Hansel.
So I'm gonna sprinkle a tablespoon of coconut flour. I just wanna make sure I get enough
that it's not as wet as it once was.
It once was.
Drier.
We need a little bit drier. That coconut flour soaks up any moisture. I don't like to go beyond 2 tablespoons. Oh, see, now it's coming together in a nice clump. There we go. That was it. I love a chaffle because you really can do it by tablespoons and make it singular type of serving size. So this is done. You know what my OCD is? No, we're fine. Got it.
Got it.
Now that we've got the base mixture for the chaffle, we're gonna season it just a teen. So I'm gonna add a little salt and a little pepper.
There she goes.
Ba, 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 ba.
There she goes again.
Ba, 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 ba. Not a lot, just a teens.
Just a teens, just a pinch.
Just a pinch. Can you put this back for me, love?
Yes, I would love to.
Thank you so much.
Looks like a paddle that somebody would get their bottom
Called PTSD for me. Okay, so
Shit,
the
sorry.
way to make a chaffle, the best way in my opinion, is to make them small. And as you can see here, we have 2 Dash Mini Pros. There's, like I said, so many amazing chaffle recipes on the internet, and I have to thank Serious Keto. I have to thank the Keto Twins, and oh my goodness, 2 Crazy Ketos. There's so
Would it be fair to say that Keto Twins inspired this with the lobster?
Oh yeah, they definitely inspired this recipe with the lobster. So check them out. We'll put a link to their recipe down below. They make a different chaffle than I do. Everybody makes their own chaffle. So I got my mini dashes. I was so happy when I got mine. I got the rainbow ones. Why? Because we're 1, 2, 3.
Lovers of rainbows.
I was told to spray the waffle makers. However, I think my chaffles are super like kind of oily, so I don't really need to spray them as much as other people do. I wipe it down with some avocado oil afterwards and then it just stays. I take about this much. I think it's like, here, how about I do this? We'll do 2 tablespoons
Per chaffle.
per chaffle. You put that in there and you kind of spread it around, okay? And I spread it around and not put too much of the batter in there because I want it to be crispy, like toast. So there's 1 down.
It almost looks like to me that you'd be making like a cheese crust, but it's funny that it doesn't turn out that way.
It doesn't turn out that way. It actually, to me, this batter looks like really good grits.
Oh, like
You see
cheese
it?
grits.
Like
for
cheese grits, you
sure.
see it?
Yeah, yeah.
A nice tablespoon of the batter in this.
So how many times have you burned yourself on your waffle maker?
See these 2 burns right here? Zoom into that. Chaffle making.
War wounds of chaffle making.
And it spreads so nicely. And you close it and you let it sit. There is extra batter left over. You can make that as your 3rd piece, you know, like a club sandwich.
Ooh.
So good. Next up for our lobster bacon sandwich. We gotta make the lobster and the bacon.
Yeah.
We gotta go to the stove for that. Are you ready? Ready. All right, here we go. We're gonna make the inside of the chaffle.
No, we're gonna make a filling.
We're making the filling.
It's a slow day.
It is a slow
Just,
day.
you know, finding our groove again, you guys.
On my burner, there is, what would you call this?
It's like a hot pad.
It's like a hot pad. Because I don't want it to get too hot, I'm putting our Le Creuset here. I'm gonna cook this in 1 pan. I'm not gonna switch it up or clean it up because I'm lazy right now, and sometimes you don't wanna do that when you're cooking for yourself. So we're gonna put that on a nice low heat.
It's like the highest heat possible. Just a nice low heat.
Just a low heat. And I'm going to cut my bacon open. Now, this is an interesting bacon. Babes, why don't you explain to them why it is?
Well, I think it's interesting because it doesn't have any sugar in it, which is pretty important if you are a keto person or somebody who's trying to avoid sugars. Sugar is literally put in everything, which is not really necessary, but it's a nice thick cut bacon and doesn't have sugar. I think it's great.
I love it. And it still tastes amazing.
Yeah, it does have a really nice.
All right, we just want to cut this container open.
And then I will wrap it up for you
That would be amazing, honey.
because I'm your sous chef.
My soup.
If my name was Sue, that would be even more fun.
Okay, being that the chaffle is really, really small,
Yes.
I don't think we need a lot of bacon. So I'm just
Like
gonna
2
take
pieces?
2 pieces. Yeah, totally, right? 1, 2. And I'm gonna give the rest to you to chop it all up.
Great.
I'm gonna cut both of the pieces of bacon in half.
I can smell a chaffle chafflin'.
The chaffle, oh, we gotta check on it, babes. I think it's time to check on it. Let me get there. Let's check on the chaffle. They're so good. Let me get them out. Stay right there.
The thing I reminded you,
Good thing you reminded me.
what would you do without your sous chef?
Nothing.
burn the chaffle.
That part. So to take a chaffle out, do not use your hands or your arm. I learned that the hard way. And you're gonna put it on a slotted rack that's a little elevated so that it can crisp up nicely. Look how beautiful those chaffles turned out.
Those are gorgeous, babe.
And just for good measure, so we're not wasting anything, I'm going to make a third chaffle. And look at that.
Gorgeous.
It's amazing. And to me, it's all about spreading out the batter thin enough so that you see all of the little metal pieces and you get a nice, crispy chaffle. We're gonna let that cook and we're gonna get back to the bacon.
Bacon! My dad used to say to me when I was a kid that he was gonna go to work and I'd say, okay, and then he'd say, and I'm gonna bring home the bacon. And I always thought he meant literally he'd bring home bacon until I understood that he was referring to cash money.
That cash money.
Thanks for bringing home the bacon, Dad.
Yeah, bring home some more bacon. Okay, with this bacon, I just want it to crisp up nicely. It's gonna take a little bit, but that's the journey of the bacon.
I like crispy bacon.
Really, why?
Because I don't like any kind of like chew texture. Like Canadian bacon, I don't enjoy at all. Whereas I know you love it.
Yeah, I think it's like a double thing for me. Sometimes I like it to be chewy depending on what the meal is, and sometimes
Yeah.
I like it to be crispy. I don't like a chewy bacon on a burger. I like a nice firm bacon on a burger.
Yeah.
But I do like a chewy bacon if I'm having it with like some avocado or eggs. I like that little texture a little bit more.
Interesting. I never like chewy bacon, no matter what the situation is. I always like a very crisp, well done bacon. Careful, that flame is picking up over. Her very low flame is actually like completely encompassing the whole thing.
It is. Okay, babes, so now we need to start thinking about what we're gonna put inside of the chaffle, other than the meat. I think you have some arugula.
Have some arugula.
And some mayo. You know what would be really good in it too? A gherkin.
A gherkin. A mini gherkin.
Or a jalapeno. Which one, a jalapeno or a gherkin?
Ooh, I think a jalapeno.
I think a jalapeno.
You have to cut the fat.
I'm gonna ask you to do me a favor.
Okay.
Can you make a jalapeno mayo for me?
Sure.
So ultimately, she's just gonna cut up the jalapenos. She's gonna add some mayo, maybe some salt and pepper, maybe no salt because it's already salty, and whip it up and it'll be a nice little spread.
Yay! So, fun story for everybody. One time when Raven and I were living in New York, she made her giant jar of homemade spicy peppers. What are they?
They are, you take a green pepper, spicy, you put some vinegar, salt, and sugar, and it's called pepper sauce in the South. Y'all know that pepper sauce, you gotta put that shit on, that shit is bomb.
There you go. Okay, so she made all of this pepper sauce and it was really, really spicy. And she put them in a jar where when it got to the bottom, we couldn't actually get the peppers. And I sat for hours somehow like finagling my hand into this jar of pepper and pulling them out one by one because she didn't want to throw them away and she just couldn't get them out. And my hands were so burned at the end of that, I had to soak them. Do you remember?
I do remember.
I think that's why you loved me.
Hey, babes.
Oh, it's done. So I'm gonna chop up jalapenos now.
Let me just talk to you guys a little bit about how I like to cook my lobster. Some people like to poach it in butter.
Yes.
Which is amazing, and I definitely suggest
done
it. However, today, we're not gonna do that because I don't feel like cleaning a pot or having babes do extra dishes later tonight.
Thanks.
I'm gonna take the rest of this ghee and add it to the bacon fat. There wasn't a lot because we didn't make a lot of bacon, which is fantastic. And I have this frozen lobster from Luke's Lobster, which is so good. And it's wet.
Still pretty frozen.
I suck at this.
So for this mayo, jalapeno mayo, 2 scoops of mayo. And I'm just mixing our jalapenos in it. Sound about right, babe?
Sound about right.
It's very jalapeno-y.
Okay, the lobster's going in. I'm just gonna do a couple pieces at a time. The good thing about frozen lobster is that you don't have to use the whole package and you can refreeze it. That smells bomb! It's like our own tartar sauce.
Yeah, it seriously is. Jalapeno mayo. The most simple thing, as you guys just saw.
All right, we're just going to heat up this lobster really quick. It smells so good. Now I can turn the flame on because everything is cooled down.
That lobster really is so pretty.
It is pretty. Now, this is my favorite part, the secret seasoning. It turns it into an amazing lobster roll like that. So we're gonna put this inside of this little mix right here. Now I don't wanna put too much So I'm gonna put a little bit in my
What is that?
spoon. It is spices, including celery seed powder, sea salt, and garlic powder.
Where do you get it from?
I got it from the case that the lobster came in.
Oh, cool.
They give it to you, and it changes the lobster immensely. But I don't use a lot of it, so I save it for all my other fish too. Just a little bit.
Yum.
It looks burnt, I know. But you guys, it's so flavorful. That's the seasoning, and it's gonna be amazing. I'm just heating it up a little bit. It has a little bit of the bacon fat, a little bit of butter.
It smells incredible.
Thanks, honey.
You're welcome.
So I just
And it's really simple. Like, it's honestly, whenever I hear a recipe that has lobster, it feels kind of intimidating, but you just showed us how easy it is.
It's super easy. Can you wrap this up and put it back in the freezer for me?
Yes.
Thank you. It's super easy, but that's because, babes, we just got frozen lobster.
Right. It's not like you had to buy a whole lobster, poach it, murder it.
We're talking about murder. All right, we're gonna let that simmer in its own thing. I'm gonna save my seasonings. And I don't know if you guys know, but I tend to save my seasoning, this one, on the fridge so that I know where it is at all times. All right, babes, I left a little bit of a mess for you.
Oh, thanks. You don't leave me a mess. Did you even cook? And if you're not dripping butter and oil all over the place, did I even cook?
All right, everyone.
Answer is no.
And we're about to assemble the chaffle. It is time, babes. Are you ready?
I'm so ready.
The chaffles have been resting on this rack, which means they are really, really crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside, just like bread. We'll put one down. We'll put a nice dollop of the jalapeno mayo that Miranda, my wife, made so amazingly. Thank you, honey. She did that. I am a stickler for how a sandwich is designed. Are you?
Oh my God, yes, because every bite has to be the right, it makes a huge difference. I learned this because the sandwich artists at Subway are
masters.
artists.
So I like to make sure that in every bite you get a little bit of everything and that it doesn't really like fall out of your sandwich. So a dollop of mayo, a little bit, just a teens of the arugula. Next, we need something to hold the arugula down and also hold the lobster in place. So we'll place the bacon next. Then we'll place some of the lobster down. This is amazing. This lobster seasoned with the classic lobster roll seasoning. You have an amazing sandwich. Now, just because we're on the tubes of you and we have 3 chaffles, why not make a triad?
Do it.
Love it.
Absolutes. Maybe a
Next.
suggestion?
Yeah.
Pick it up.
Oh, great suggestion. Just a teens. Love it.
Top that off.
We're gonna put another little bit of this fantastic mayo there.
Yep.
And we're going to actually go this
Yes.
way.
Glue.
Glue. Sandwich 1 done.
Perfect.
We're on our second tier.
Yes.
And we want to make sure that we stick with the continuity of the second tier. You know what? Just because we can, honey, can you grab me my seasoning off the refrigerator?
Your secret seasoning?
My secret little seasoning. What I'm gonna do is, just for like effects, I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit on my board because I don't want to stick my hand in it. I'll give that back to you. I'm gonna take a little bit and just sprinkle it on top. All right, this one I'm gonna change up a little bit. I'm gonna put the bacon first.
Oh, instead of the arugula.
Instead of the arugula.
Got it,
I'll
got
put the
it.
bacon first. Then I'm gonna take the rest of the lobster and place it right on top, like so. Now you may be wondering, how is that balanced? I'm confused.
It just works.
It just does though.
It's some scientific law.
It is. We're going to
Smells incredible.
finish it and we're just gonna kind of just,
Yeah. Yes.
a little extra seasoning on top. And because we can, because I don't like a dry sandwich.
No.
Sorry, I'm not a fan.
She likes a dry chaffle, but she doesn't like a dry sandwich. Exactly. Don't get it twisted.
There's a difference.
Have to know.
And then you place that there.
That is incredible looking.
I'm so happy.
I wish you had a toothpick.
Everyone, welcome the 3-tier bacon, lobster, and jalapeno mayo chaffle. Enjoy.
well, I think you did an amazing job, babes. This looks super beautiful. It's the Leaning Tower of Chaffle Pizza.
It's leaning.
I mean, the leaning, is not even,
Chaffle
whatever.
pizza?
Is the leaning, I was trying to say the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
We should make pizza next.
Ooh. Anyway, this has been a wonderful day in the kitchen. That's glorious. Time to say goodbye. Bye. Bye.